Hello, my name is Guy Kinchelow, and I wanted to go over briefly about Common Core standard for fifth grade number and operations in base 10 standards. This is on decimal place. So the students in question, according to the discussion question, were having an issue with staying engaged because they just didn't like the activity that they were doing as far as the grocery store and the list of stuff that they had to do and relate it to decimal places. So really it's kind of simple. I just figured we could use the same concept, but we're going to use a toy. I think when you use a toy, that's going to kind of increase their engagement and activate their prior knowledge. I'm sure that they've all had experience in the toy store looking for toys, and then they've got their parents telling them, oh, well, you can't get that because it costs too much. So I would like to start by activating the prior knowledge and asking the students to share situations in which they've used decimals in their everyday life. So this could be anything from calculating the total cost of groceries, a tip at a restaurant, or like I said, when you go to buy a toy. And I'm sure that most of them have had, that experience. So at that point, I would go ahead and have them write down, like on a flip chart or even on the whiteboard, the experience just briefly of what they had, what toy it was, how much did it cost, how much money did they have. So with the real world example, we would be adding and subtracting decimals that the students can relate to. And so we would use a scenario where someone's trying to buy a toy that costs $9.99, but they only have $7.50. So I would go on to have the students brainstorm different strategies they could use to figure out how much more money they needed to buy that toy. So using an example from step 2, I would demonstrate how to add and subtract decimals using a number line or a visual aid. I've always thought that using a number line is a great way to bring up prior knowledge, because number lines are generally started pretty early on. So using that is going to help with this lesson. So I would show students how to line up decimal points and carry over numbers as needed. I would also provide a step-by-step explanation of the process. Every step of the way, I like to try and keep the students engaged. I like to throw some humor in there and make sure that they're paying attention. And they're having fun. I mean, that's part of it. That's why I think that incorporating a toy would be a good idea. So let's see here. So then I would divide the students into pairs or small groups and provide them with a set of decimal addition and subtraction problems. And students could work together to solve the problems using the strategies they brainstormed in step 2. So I would circulate around the classroom to provide support and guidance as needed. And, that is for, like a short-term assessment to make sure that everybody's on track and, where they're at with things and who do I need to go back to and kind of help along. So I always like to do those informal assessments and make sure that everybody's on track. So then, once we've gone through all that, then I would like to go into share and reflect. So once the students have completed the activity, I'd bring the class together and share their solutions and strategies. And I would encourage the students to explain how they arrived at their answers. And I would also have them ask questions, about their activity. And I would ask them questions to deepen their understanding of the lesson, going over the decimal places and how it was understood by the toy that they bought, and how much money that they had, how much more money did they need, and how that related to decimal places. Thanks.